Ghanatube. As the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS celebrates its Golden Jubilee with Grand Festival in Accra, Ghana. A pivotal and emotional change conversation has actually been taking place at the stage. And the push for preparation and colonial era injustice and the return of the looted African aircrafts. Amidst the fanfare, African leadership are signaling a shift towards addressing historical wrongs as a foundation for future development. This is actually happening today in Accra as we speak. During the interview, at the ECOWAS 50th anniversary launch, Nigerian Parliament representative to ECOWAS, Ambassador Musa Sani Nehu, reaffirmed the regional bloc's alignment with the African Union's 2025 theme, Heritage Restoration and Reparative Justice. I think you will recall that the African Union's theme for the year is in line with these issues. The ECOWAS is part of the African Union, said their ambassador Nuham. ECOWAS actually supported that team and to be the central focus of 2025. He highlighted that ECOWAS has already begun operating and operationalizing his agendas, most notably through the appointment of President Patrice Talon of the Benin as the regional chairperson for the recovery of cultural artifacts looted during the colonial period. These items were taken from the regions during colonialism, so the cause ECOWAS is in a very much on course with this issue, he added. When asked whether preparations or reparations for colonial injustice should be at the center issue for Africa, Ambassador Nehu was unequivocally and said yes. Of course, it is something that is on the table and is being discussed as such. Such discussions usually begin at the technical level before moving to ministerial discussions and finally to the head of states. Right now, it is being examined at the technical level. His remarks were echoed by Ambassador Josephine Nkrumah, ECOWAS ambassador to Liberia, who confirmed that the conversation is advancing steadily through the appropriate institutions frameworks. Should reparation for those injustices be central agenda for Africa? Yes, of course, Nkrumah said. It is something which is on the table, which is being digested at the technical level. I am sure by the time it reaches the highest level, it will be endorsed. Please watch as President Mahama reaffirms Ghana's democracy. Please watch.
Stands ready to serve as the bridge to help reknit the fabric of West African unity. We believe that through sustained dialogue, patient diplomacy, and principled negotiation, we can restore cohesion and rebuild trust in our community. This period, ladies and gentlemen, calls for even greater solidarity and understanding for the difficult challenges that confront our brothers in the Sahelian states. Diplomacy is not only about resolving disputes, it's about creating the conditions for peace, for inclusion and progress. It is about fostering mutual respect and advancing our common interests. In this regard, our commitment to integration through diplomacy must extend to economic, social, and cultural dimensions, whether we are harmonizing trade negotiations, whether we are facilitating free movement of our people, or championing education and health cooperation. Our diplomatic instruments must always work in the service of our people. We must empower ECOWAS institutions to act swiftly, credibly, and transparently. Our citizens must feel that ECOWAS is not some distant bureaucracy, but a living community that understands their struggles and champions their hopes. And let us never forget the power of soft diplomacy. Our shared languages, our music, our literature, and youth culture These are powerful tools that bind us together more deeply than any treaty can. And I wish to commend the young people who gave that wonderful performance here. Distinguished guests, let this 50th anniversary be a turning point for diplomacy in West Africa. Let us invest more in early warning systems, mediation capacities, and youth and women as peace builders. Let us position our sub-region ECOWAS not only as a political and economic bloc, but as a diplomatic anchor for the continent, a model of integration, dialogue, and peaceful coexistence.
Institutions come at a time when civil society movements across Africa and the diaspora are rampaging on pressure on governments to secure reparative justice for the scares of colonialism, slavery, cultural erection, and the reinstitution of artifacts is not only symbolic but also seen as a vital step in healing the historical wounds inflicted on African society as a whole. Countries such as Germany, France, and United Kingdom have begun returning cultural treasures to nations including Nigeria and Benin. These acts, though incremental, have reignited the debate on broader reparations, including financial compensation system to redress and education reform. The rising call for repatriation is a growing concern across Africa. The issue of reparations has become an increasingly pressing concern within African society. Reports from various media outlets suggest that the total value of reparation being discussed could amount as such as $50 trillion. Amplifying the message through acts and activism, Guinean artist Ele Komono has released a powerful new anthem titled African Without Africans. The single resonates deeply with the African Union's 2025 theme, Justice for Africa and People of African Descent through Reparations. Through evolutive lyrics, the song recounts the immense suffering endured during the colonial era and called on African leaders to take bold actions in restoring historical justice. Komono urged authorities to demand the return of what was just unjustly taken from the continent, framing music as a rally cry for a continent still healing from centuries of exploitation. ECOWAS at 50, a symbol of unity and future ambitions. The reparations agenda found a powerful stage at the ECOWAS 50th anniversary celebration themed Stronger Together for a Brighter Future, held at the Accra International Conference Center. The event drew leaders and dignitaries from across West Africa, including Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama, Liberian President Joseph Boakai, and ECOWAS Commission President Dr. Omar Aliyu. President John Dramani Mahama acknowledged Africa's shared challenge, political instability, economic inequality, and climate threats, and called for collective solutions rooted in justice and inclusion. We must respond not with isolation but with understanding and a willingness to engage, he said, announcing 1,000 scholarships for students across sub-regions as a symbol of Pan-African unity and youth empowerment. Please watch again.
An effective trade liberalization scheme. The ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme is ECOWAS's preferential trade arrangement. Since the inception of the trade liberalization scheme, more than 15,000 companies have been registered under the scheme and benefit from the preferential treatment within ECOWAS for more than 50,000 products. The Interconnected System for the Management of Goods in Transit, SIGMAT, has been launched to connect national customs offices in the ECOWAS region to facilitate regional transit trade and increase the pace and ease of international trade. The system is now fully operational in 7 countries. This too, Excellency, together with the common external tariff, is a good reason to celebrate. 3, ECOWAS has a promising regional energy and infrastructure programs. The community has developed a 25-year master plan which comprises 201 regional projects covering all member states. These have been estimated to cost about $131 billion. The 4 key sectors covered are transport, energy, telecommunication, and water resources. Within this context, Excellencies, key infrastructure projects have been launched. These include the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway, as well as the Abidjan-Praia Corridor Highway, and several secondary corridors and joint border posts. The 1,028-kilometer Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway is one of the largest economic corridors on the continent. About $42 million has been successfully mobilized to finance the technical preparatory studies of the project. The feasibility and preliminary design studies, which have been completed, show a significant investment cost of nearly $15 billion, with an average economic rate of return of 15%. The corridor, the Abidjan-Lagos corridor, Excellencies, is now ready for investors. In the same vein, preparations are underway for the development of the Abidjan-Praia corridor that will consist of a maritime and shipping line from Praia in Cape Verde to Dakar in Senegal.
ECOWAS is not just a regional bloc, it is a symbol of hope, unity, and resilience for West Africa. One of the most striking moments at the ceremony was a theatrical performance titled Reclaiming Our Destinies. An unveiling of West African at 50 logo, the site's golden race symbolizing unity and growth, rounded off the day event with a hopeful message of regional renewals. The renewed emphasis on the reparations by ECOWAS represents a notable evolution in the regional bloc's policy, discussed from economic operations to cultural and historical redress. While progress may still be at the technical discussion phase, the political will being demonstrated at the highest level signals a growing readiness to confront uncomfortable truths. By prioritizing reparations and heritage recovery, ECOWAS is not merely addressing the past, it is anchoring Africa's future development on a foundation of justice, dignity, and cultural sovereignty. As Ambassador Nehru stated, by the time it reaches the highest level, it will be endorsed along the way. The next 50 years of ECOWAS may well be defined not just by economic integration, but by moral leadership and historical accountability, and that could prove to be the true golden legacy of West Africa's not enduring regional institution. Please do well to like, comment, and follow. Put on notification bell so you get all